Hello, I'm Julie Timke, and I'm a therapist at Indy Counseling Professionals. Today I'm going to do a short video on EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique, regards to tapping, or to actually models of therapy with EFT as the acronym. I'm going to do the one today that's on tapping. As a disclaimer, I am not trained in EFT. I participate or use it for myself, and in the description of this video, I will be listing a trained professional and resources for you to get if you decide to go forward and do some tapping. So the purpose of this video is to just explore. There's so much going on right now as this video is being recorded. Here in the state of Indiana, we are starting to open back up some of our businesses and our social gathering. And so I'm working at home. I went ahead, even though it's not the best lighting, tried to give you the background of my trees so that we can enjoy our five senses and participate in doing whatever we can to be healthy. My focus for today, or this video, is to concentrate on facing major change. Currently, this is one where we have been restricted and unable to be part of large groups, maybe see people that we haven't seen in a long time. And so we're possibly looking forward to that on one side of our thinking. On another side of our thinking, the one that's not been exposed to people, and the safety side that is possibly concerned about, are either acquiring a virus or transmitting a virus that could be contagious. We then might have trepidation or this angst inside of us about what it's going to be like being in situations or near people that we haven't been. For many of us, we do our best to figure out what it is that we need to do to be safe, to be an active citizen so that we're following what's asked of us, but also a free will to decide what's best, to look at the information ourselves. So as you go out, you'll notice that people will respond and make choices that are personal to them. I want to remind us or suggest that we consider a mindset that everybody has values about safety and caring for others, but our behaviors on how we express that or what we choose to do might look and will look very different. What I want to try to do for myself and encourage you to do is to safeguard judgment against others or ourselves. I have read some safety things, and then a couple weeks later that safety information changes, and so I adapt with it, not often with a high amount of certainty on if it's reliable, but I have to go with reliable enough. So today I'm going to tap, and I'm going to use thoughts that I have or thoughts that other people have shared. When you do tapping, you'll want to really take the time to write down your own thoughts. I often suggest people of doing any kind of counseling or self-reflection or trying to just improve one's mental health that you write down first. What are your thoughts? What thoughts am I having? What feelings is it creating in my body? Where am I feeling it in my body? Because it often gives a clue then to how much of an impact it is, how serious it is. We cannot spend a lot of time on every thought we have. We want to start noticing them so we can categorize them. Some we try to dispute or challenge. Others become our wisdom and they can guide us. So when we do tapping or any type of intervention on ourselves, we're really just clearing the path in our mind to find clarity about what's most important, so that we can put our effort and energy on what's most important instead of feeling overwhelmed by trying to think of everything we might need to do or everything everybody else is doing. So my intention for today is that I want to just do my best. I want to do my best as I reconnect with others in the community. I want to have a great experience with reconnecting, but also stay mindful and intentional about how I'm going to be safe and be safe to others. for others. So as I begin, I'm not going to go into every step of tapping. You will have to go back to earlier videos or look at the description below for the tapping sites. I'm going to start with, what am I noticing inside of myself when I think about re-entering society in a more full capacity? I'm excited. I am nervous. I am wondering, kind of very curious about how this will all roll out and how many people will do their conscientious best to not transmit or not accidentally transmit what's been going on with COVID-19. So when I go to looking at something, if I'm excited or happy, and I don't really need to expand on that. If I want to just reflect on the joys of reunification, I can do that without tapping. But if I want to look at what I'm concerned about, I notice that I feel that a lot more in my neck area. I feel the tension just as I think about it. I start to tighten up or notice the tightness that was probably already there. And so I rank that, that feeling. I'll say the feeling of, say, anxiety. The type of anxiety to me is trepidation, uncertain about what it will be like, just a little bit of tension around the unknown. And so from 0 to 10, 0 being it's not really noticeable, 10 being that it's very highly distressing or highly noticeable, I would say that it's a 6 right now. If I was taking a measure at another time, it could be a 10, it could be a 2. That is subjective. It's where I'm recording it or noticing it today. So I think then I noticed it was in my body. I gave it a ranking of 6 in intensity. And I think about how would I pinpoint what might be distressing me or causing trepidation the most? I would say that, it's just probably watching right now and observing the difference between people, not a judgment, but then a not understanding. Why do some people do one thing and what some people do another? And I just keep noticing that. And I think my internal self is just unsure what we're really supposed to do, what is best practice. And so I'm going to tap on that today. I'm going to set the intention that even though I really don't know what is best to do, and that bothers me somehow, I'm going to try to accept myself for what I do know and what I don't know, and just tap about that. So I begin with a karate chop. I'm going to do this 3 times, and then I'm going to move forward. Even though I can't exactly explain to myself what all my trepidation is, I love and accept myself for who I am and how I feel. Even though I have waves of uncertainty and waves of feeling perfectly okay about it, I know that it bothers me to some level, and I accept that that's true for me and love and accept myself for that. Even though I kind of have to wait and see, I'm going to try to just accept the thoughts and feelings I have without judgment. This has been a crazy time. It's just a very unusual circumstance to see so many people wearing masks, so many people not wearing masks. I do believe everybody's doing their best. But sometimes their best doesn't make me feel very comfortable. I feel uncomfortable when it appears to me certain people aren't trying to be cautious at all. I'm not sure what level of caution I really need. I'm not sure what level of caution we all need. I appreciate that we're going at a slower pace, but I recognize not everybody goes at the same pace. Try not to control what others do. Try not to judge what others do. I'm trying to just decide what's best for me and my family. I remind myself I'm not perfect or all knowing. I'm glad I don't have to be perfect or all knowing. I just really want to make my way through this. I want to make my way without losing friends or judging family. I want to be able to just take it day by day. I want to be able to take it minute by minute. I want to be able to just be. I'm ready to see more people. I laugh thinking that I'll wonder if I can, see the virus. Full disclaimer, I don't think I'll be able to see the virus. It's just silly sometimes what thoughts can run through my head about this. Try to accept the times that they're also scary thoughts. So I'm going to take a break. I did 3 rounds of tapping. Sometimes I lose touch. I will laugh. I normally like to incorporate odd or silly thoughts because it lightens my mood. We're trying to bring in adaptive or lighter thoughts into any time we feel worry, concern, so that our brain or our psyche can have a balance of that. So without my editorial now, I will check back in with myself because I tap frequently. It's often true that my feelings will move out of a higher level of distress to a lower level of distress. Again, I would just say that that's very typical for most people who practice something for a long time, is they get better results. And I encourage you to do the same. So right now I notice a little bit of tightness still in my neck, especially in the back, but not all as before it was surrounding me. Like it was, sometimes you feel you're being choked out by your problems. They're so invasive. But right now it just feels more like a flick of irritation on the back of my neck, So I recognize that I'm irritated. I could re-rank that because I don't feel as even concerned at this moment about all the things I just tapped about. When I think about them and I will act upon them, but I don't have this most obsessive where you can't get away from your thoughts. Like those are freer from me. That's why they call it emotional freedom technique. They can be freed and let go of versus kind of ruminating or repeating themselves over and over. Like I can't get out of a room. They're only all around me. And now I can open the windows and they just leave. And I can stay in my room without having all those thoughts kind of ruminate on me, just invade me. But I am irritated. I'm irritated by all the things we have to do. So I'm going to tap on that real quick. If this isn't you, you don't have to tap on that. And if you don't have to think like me. My thoughts I'm just sharing out loud as an example. You would put your own thoughts in here. So if you're tapping with me, then you would just go ahead and say your own words to yourself out loud or in your head. So irritation from 0 to 10. I waver. It's not always easy to make a rating. I'm already thinking of silly things, so it's already just going down. Sometimes you even visualize tapping or whatever intervention you pick. The psyche starts applying it and working for you. So even if you can't do these things, think them, and your mind will help make those improvements. So how irritated am I from 0 to 10? I don't know, 8. It's strong. This is all just very irritating. It's a lot of things, but when I'm honest about my feelings and I let them kind of be separated, they're much easier to deal with because then I'm kind of really only dealing with one feeling or a group of feelings at a time versus everything I'm feeling, which is often what causes us to be overwhelmed. Like a feeling party that we don't want to have, and we're the guest of honor. I'd like to have a different kind of party personally. And so I'm just going to have one feeling. It's irritation, and it's an 8. Even though I'm feeling very irritated, I love and accept myself for how I feel. Even though I'd rather not feel irritation, it's clearly here, and I'm going to accept it for what it is, see where it takes me. Even though irritation is irritating, I love and accept myself anyway, or for who I am, how I feel. Yes, irritation is a drag. Irritation is a pest. To me, anyway, I feel like wanting to yell and scream. Maybe doing other destructive things I know I won't do, but I really do want to do them. When I'm irritated, I want other people or I want to get it out of my body. I don't want irritation in me. But all these things we're having to do and undo and redo irritate me. I think it's okay to be irritated. Actually, to me, it makes sense to be irritated. And yet I don't want irritation to stay in my body. I don't want irritation to connect or stay around. I want irritation to be freed. I would like peace. I would like to not think about it for the rest of the day. I release my cares and concerns about things I cannot do. I release the power I do not have to do more than I'm already doing. I release an over sense of responsibility for what others are doing. I will just do me. And I will accept whatever irritation comes up and try to let it go as I can and not expect to do that perfectly. I just do my best. Just figure it out as I go. So you might not have been able to see because of this unprofessional camera angle, but oh well. I'm just 4 inches under my armpit. So that's tapping. Right now, I have ecological or understandable feelings of irritation and confusion over what to do right now, but it doesn't feel as heavy. It doesn't feel like it's something I have to consume myself with. It feels like something I can let exit from me. And when I need to think about it again, I can, and probably with a lot less emotion. Emotions are helpful, but they can't drive the show. They can't over present the situation to us, because then it becomes a threat to us and our body responds in a way that is not healthy for us. We need to process, move, free, deal with, whatever term you want to use with our emotions, or they will deal with us. So I wish you the best. I hope you look further into any kind of intervention that just allows you to clear your mind, move your feelings, take tension out of your body. Our bodies, they need us to do what they can to be free. And I wish you the best, and I hope you figure out you, and take care.